Camilla, now 75, has forever been the love of our new king's life, a confidant so close that while engaged to Diana he even gave her a bracelet engraved F and G, their pet names for each other being Fred and Gladys. Vilified by the grieving public after the tragic death of Diana in 1997, after the princess famously partly blamed her for the breakdown of her royal marriage, Camilla has suffered, defied and endured. In an interview with Vogue magazine earlier this year, she tellingly said of her past vilification, "I sort of rise above it and get on with it. You've got to get on with life." Now the wife of 17 years to Charles, she has blossomed over the years before the British public. More than accepted, she has been taken into their hearts and her cheerful, easy manner embraced and loved. Yesterday, as His Majesty the King was greeted with cheers and patriotic shouts from a huge crowd of thousands outside Buckingham Palace, cheers greeted Queen Consort Camilla too. But life has not always been so easy for the royal couple, and decades ago it seemed their fond relationship was never meant to be after Charles fell for her when they met in their early 20s. Born Camilla Rosemary Shand, in the 17th of July 1947, to an upper-class and privileged and well-connected family, her family would have hoped for great things from her, but not royal ambitions. She was raised on the family's 18th-century country estate in Plumpton, East Sussex, with her father Bruce Shand, a retired army officer, reading her bedtime stories while Mother Rosalind ferried the children to school, activities, and the beach. A Swiss finishing school prepared bubbly Camilla, being a London debutante, and from the mid-60s she enjoyed an on-off relationship with a household cavalry officer, Andrew Parker Bowles. In the early 1970s she was introduced to the young Prince Charles, with Charles's biographer Jonathan Dimbleby writing, "She was affectionate, unassuming, and, with all the intensity of first love, he lost his heart to her almost at once." But Charles was pursuing his Navy career, and while on an 8-month deployment overseas in 1973, Andrew proposed to Camilla and she accepted. Robert Lacey wrote in his book, Royal, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, that Charles met Camilla too early, while Sarah Bradford wrote in Diana, his great-uncle Lord Mountbatten arranged for Charles to go overseas to clear a path for him to later step out with Mountbatten's granddaughter Amanda Knatchbull. Other experts claim the Queen Mother did not approve of Camilla, as she wanted Charles to marry one of the Spencer family granddaughters of her close friend Lady Fermoy. Despite Camilla's marriage, the couple and Charles maintained their friendship, with Charles and Andrew playing polo together, and the couple asking Charles to be godfather to their first child, Tom. In 1981 Charles had met and proposed to the young lady Diana Spencer, but in Diana, Her True Story, author Andrew Morton claimed Diana almost called off the wedding after finding a bracelet Charles had made for Camilla engraved with the letters F and G. Charles insisted he and Camilla only rekindled their romance when his marriage had irretrievably broken down. But as Diana so memorably stated on the now shamed 1995 Panorama interview, "There were 3 of us in this marriage." Camilla suffered a public onslaught from supporters of Diana. Her divorce was finalized in 1995, while Charles and Diana's marriage officially ended in 1996. Her pariah role only worsening after Diana's death in Paris the following year. But her son Tom Parker Bowles described his mother's steely fortitude as one of her greatest assets, revealing why she has been such a rock to our new monarch. Tom said in 2017, "My mother is bulletproof. Rehabilitating Camilla into the public's affections has been slow and cautious but determined and ultimately hugely successful, culminating in the couple's ecstatic and loving reception from well-wishers when they finally married at a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall in 2005. A few months after their wedding, Prince Harry described his father's new bride as "wonderful woman," adding, "William and first love her to bits and get on really well with her." Now in her mid-70s, Camilla's life revolves around public engagements, royal duties and supporting her husband and her family. Away from the spotlight, Camilla is also an enthusiastic grandmother of 5. During lockdown, the then Duchess of Cornwall spoke of her sadness at not being able to give her grandchildren a huge hug. Share your memories and stories of the Queen with Express. The Queen was known for her devotion to the nation, but will also be remembered for her quick quips and her colourful fashion sense. Many fans across the nation will be in mourning today, and here at express.co.uk we want to remember the brilliant stories we all have about the Queen. She has a very close and supportive family, and a close group of old friends, her nephew Ben Elliott told Vanity Fair magazine. She adores her husband, children and grandchildren. Camilla has also used her public role to champion a number of worthy and vital causes, such as raising awareness about osteoporosis, which afflicted her mother and grandmother, crusading against domestic abuse and sexual violence, and literacy. After their 2005 marriage, royal aides hinted that Camilla did not want to be known as Queen Consort, even though she was entitled to be. She intended, instead, when the time came, to be known as Princess Consort, a title never before used in British history. But in February this year, the Queen finally sealed her own approval to her eldest son's happiness by declaring it was her sincere wish that, when that time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort. The Queen chose the 70th anniversary of her accession to the throne to make that highly significant announcement, telling the nation, "When, in the fullness of time, my son Charles becomes king, first know you will give him and his wife Camilla the same support that you have given me, and it is my sincere wish that, when the time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own loyal service." Camilla later said she felt very honored and very touched by the public seal of approval. King Charles summed up their relationship saying, "It's always nice to have somebody on your side. She is an enormous support and sees the funny side of life, thank God." Now as he deals with the death of his mother, our late, cherished Queen Elizabeth II, in a period of state mourning and also his new role as monarch, His Majesty the King will be relying on her bulletproof support more than ever. Related articles: Princess Charlotte's memory of Gangan has Commons smiling. NY Times article blasts Queen's bloody history just after death. Richard Osman questions BBC airing House of Games after Queen's death. Comment from US professor mocking Queen's death removed by Twitter. 4 main reasons for Premier League and EFL matches called off.